We are live here with
What's
Steve
up?
Raze,
How you doing?
CEO of AGA Agency.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Thanks a lot for having me.
I am doing awesome. I am doing awesome, and I'm so glad that you were able to join us tonight on a special edition,
Yeah.
special date and everything, special time. You know what I mean? We had to bring out all the stops
Okay, I
just
like
for
that.
you, just for you. No, we do this on a Wednesday, so today we're doing it
Oh,
on
okay.
Monday.
All right. Well, I appreciate. Thank you for the time. I mean, I got a lot to talk about, so I'm glad you got me on here. Let's talk.
All right, let's hop straight into this interview.
Hey, whatever. Oh, we can
Where did
talk.
you,
We can just kick it. It's
oh,
whatever.
let's kick it. Oh, first. Let's just kick it and just talk a little bit. So, your day was good, was busy.
Yeah, like I said, you called me at a crazy time because I'm in the process of putting together my first television show. So it's very
Hey,
exciting times. I'm gonna leave that alone though. We'll talk about that. But it's been. I say this. Today's my first day that I haven't talked to my lawyer in 2 weeks. So that's a great thing.
hey, that is always a good thing. You are never mad. For
So
sure. For sure. And yeah, I've been busy too. We've got this interview coming up. We've got a couple other really fun interviews coming up. I'm working with Barcelona Entertainment on some interviews, so
I
I'm
see.
definitely excited.
I
Excited
like
with
it.
some things that are coming up.
All right.
For sure, for sure. And so, you've been in the industry, for a long time, about 15 years now. So tell us, like,
Dang.
how does it feel to reach, the heights that you've reached, like reach where you are? So when you step back and look at where you've come from, how does it feel?
I mean, it feels kind of strange. I mean, first of all, I got a birthday coming up next week,
Hey,
so I'm feeling older and older every time you say I've been in the game 15 plus years. So, I feel the gray hairs on the beard, and I say this. I look at it now, and I feel like it's been a long road, but it's definitely been something that I felt I needed to take every step of the way to get where I am today. And my hats go off to every company, every person, everybody that's believed in me. And I could have never gotten here without all hip hop, without loving hip hop, without all the places that I started. And it really started at all hip hop about 15 years ago. So it's just really been an amazing journey. And like I said, my hat goes off to those places because I couldn't have been anything without them and the people that I've met throughout this process.
right. So talk a little bit about all hip hop. Talk a little bit about where you started, and let's start there.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Grouchy Gray came up with all hip hop, and we're all from Delaware, so we went to the same high school together. It's
Okay.
crazy. Yeah, and me and Chuck had our own company, and yeah, it was just like it was just like a synergy in the sense that we had our own company called Tantrum Mag, and all hip hop
Mm-hmm.
was just like down the street from us, and we was like, why are we competing with each other? So eventually we joined forces. I moved to New York, and and it's crazy. I took a job as a network engineer. So
Yeah.
I learned the internet early, like in 2000.
Wow.
So in 2000, I left and I learned how to build web servers, streaming servers, and all of that. And then around 2003, 2004, I came back to all hip hop and said, we could, you can not be on this 9.99 webpage. I could build your web server, and
Mhm.
you can start to make money and serve your own, your own ads, and that's how a pathway to become profitable. This
Right.
is like 15 years ago, 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started, and the fact that I built a streaming server
Mhm.
to show videos. I was the only one that was able to shoot the videos. So
Mhm.
that's how I started. I started shooting videos on all hip hop. I bought a camera and,
Mhm.
just figured out how to put it online. And we were
Mhm.
like broadcasting like interviews with Fat Joe and Cameron on Def
Mhm.
Jam like 15 years ago, like those Dipset albums and all of that. We were doing interviews, and it was only BET, MTV, and all hip hop doing these videos.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so I was like, so when you ask that question, looking at back at it like 10, 15 years later, it's like, yo, we were kind of doing some revolutionary things back then, and we didn't have I mean, we was doing that out of our basement. I mean, real talk. We didn't have an office. We weren't centralized. It was like we just had this dream. These kids from Delaware, and was just like, let's figure it out. We love hip hop, so that's what brought us together. And
Yeah.
and we just kind of, our goal was always the same. Let's take over. Let's be the best blog site we could be at. It wasn't even the word blog didn't even exist back then. It was website. You know,
Yeah.
let's be the best hip hop website. And I think the BET Hip Hop Awards, I think in 2008, 2009, we won Best Hip Hop Website. So that just
Mhm.
validated it to us. It was just like we're number one. There's no
Yeah.
higher achievement. So so that's I mean, just going through that process, that's life changing. I can't. I mean, we're from Delaware. Come on, man, Delaware.
Yeah.
I mean, come
We're
on,
from the
man.
East Coast all day, every day.
Yeah, I was born in New York, but I mean, I was raised in Delaware, and I was like,
Yeah. That's what
man,
East Coast. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, man, if you could do that from Delaware, you could do anything. Real talk,
Anything you touch your mind to.
anything.
Yeah. You're trailblazer.
Man,
Okay.
thank you,
For
appreciate it.
sure. For sure. And so what do you think has been the key to your success? Looking back, you know what I mean? You were doing revolutionary things, you know what I mean? You're doing things when there was only three people doing them. Now, everybody's trying to be the next hip hop blog and come
Yeah,
up. So what do you think was the key to your success and what kept you going and maintaining and doing good?
I mean, for me, I was in a position as executive vice president in charge of like multimedia and content. It's never changed. Content is always king. So I mean, it was my job to come up with original content. So I came up with some original show called The Next 48 Hours
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, which was like in itself just all right. So back then, nobody had an in-house cameraman. So Rick Ross, it was shoot, it was like it was nobody there filming his videos. So
Okay.
now I'm there filming, and I'm filming everything, and I'm asking questions nobody has no real right to ask. You know what I mean? Like what's your favorite movie? Like, who cares?
Right,
It's like
right.
you're a
Yeah.
musician, but I'm asking everything because I'm there with them for 2 3 days. So
Mm-hmm.
after a while, now everyone has their own in-house. Like, you can't be an artist without having an in-house cameraman.
Right, right.
So back then, just the fact that no one had it and we were asking questions that no one in your camp would ask. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, we were asking journalistic questions.
Right.
That right there in that moment in time was pioneering. It was revolutionary. And then it's not. You know what I mean? Let's just be real. I can't do that again. You can't recreate that moment in time because
Mm-hmm.
now everyone has their own cameras and they're going to ask the questions, and the questions going to be immediately biased, where we were immediately journalistic.
Right.
So right now, create something new. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And that goes with music. That goes with content. That goes with everything. Now the new might be TikTok.
Yeah.
Now the new might be Quibi. Where
Mhm.
now the content is getting shorter.
Right.
The content is online. It's on your phone. The content is more digestible. So I'm like I said, I'm about to celebrate a birthday. I'm getting up there. So I'm still doing the 30-minute format on television. I'll do digital content all day. I started doing digital content,
Right.
I found that the checks are a little different in television still. So I'm gonna go chase that right now. But
Yeah.
but I say this, like I said 10 years ago, Lex 48 was something different that no one had. Create the next different, create the next revolutionary thing, and that's gonna take you to your path, to where you need to go. So
Right.
it's hard to say what that is, but there's some kid at 12 years old that's doing it right now. You
Yeah.
know?
For sure. For sure. So now I gotta ask, what is your favorite movie?
Ah man, I can't. It's like a ever revolving list. I
Okay.
mean,
So
I,
what's on your TV right now? What's the movie that's on replay right now? If you had to pick one.
I mean, if I had to go out and watch a movie, I want to watch Tenet right now. Tenet looks amazing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a Marvel head. I'm a DC
Right.
guy, so those. I grew up on comic books, and I'm really. If you'd asked a TV question, I've been on my TV grind, so I've been watching and binging a bunch of TV like series.
Okay. Okay. So what's on
So
your Netflix?
if we could switch it out, I just watched the boys. The boys is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's on Amazon. Lovecraft
Okay.
Country,
Hmm.
phenomenal. If you're black, you gotta watch that. That's J.J. Abrams, and he's like obviously a sci-fi king,
Right.
and he put. I guess the other filmmakers are obviously black because
Mm.
they put the black authentic touch to it. But
Yes.
JJ gave it that sci-fi, so it's like that new age True Blood on HBO, but it's black version, you know. So
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's
Not. I have
amazing.
not seen it, but I've seen like a lot of reviews, a lot of clips of it. So
Yeah.
I definitely need to check it out for sure. For sure. And what's music wise? What's playing heavy on your rotation on, in your music playlist?
So somebody asked me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm like a little old. I'm straight old. I'm an OG. I'm old school
All right.
now.
All
So
right.
let's just be
Sure.
real." So I was just talking to somebody. It's like, I started, and I said it just like this. I was like, I started at or hip hop, but I'm like a little older now, so I feel like I'm on my R&B vibe.
Yes.
So I ain't gonna lie, this like I ran a bunch of females down, so I run them down. Tiana Taylor's album's crazy,
Yes.
but I say like Janae, she was always been dope.
Mhm.
But Danny Levy, is that she's
Yeah.
fire. Yeah, she's fire. It's a bunch of R&B cats that are just killing
Divas.
it.
Yes.
Black Six. I mean, just I mean, Khaled,
Mhm.
Bryson Tiller's coming out
I
with something.
love Bryson Tiller, man.
His album's coming out this year,
Mhm.
and so I got inside intel. Well, it's all you already
Okay.
know. It's gonna be
Okay.
crazy, but
Okay.
but I mean, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if this is sacrilegious or anything, but Tory Lanez had some heat too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that What's Poppin' verse is crazy, alright? That's just a hip hop song, but that's in full rotation. That What's Poppin' remix, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. That's crazy.
All right. And let's talk a little bit about AGA Agency. Where did that all begin? Where did that start?
Alright, so it's crazy because me and my partner Mac Mills, we've known each other and worked with each other for like years, and
Hmm.
we've been he's been doing stuff for me and I've been doing stuff for him, and one day he just hit me up, was like, yo, I got Antonio Brown. I'm like, what? Like the football player? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, man, let's run them. So I was like, yeah, let's figure this out. So I made a few calls, and this was around Super Bowl this year. It's crazy. And I mean, this year has been such a whirlwind, but it's been 2020, and we was like, all right, so I got something lined up that we had it for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So now I was like, let's go to Miami and just set it off. So I had lined up, made some calls, and lined up Kevin Hart. So Kevin
Hmm.
Hart's podcast is amazing. So
Yes.
we had locked him in on that, and based off of that, it was a whirlwind. We just took him everywhere. TMZ,
Yeah.
Breakfast Club,
Hmm.
Spotify, everywhere. And then from that, we just figured out like our partnership is dope, but it should be bigger. So
Hmm.
then we was like, let's just make this an agency, and let's not have our names in it. Let's let this be something that could be something that our somebody we could just pass this on to,
Right.
and let's let it be like NBC, ABC,
Right.
Fox.
Right.
So
Right.
those letters stand for what it is. And
Mhm.
then as we just thought in that mind state of it's us, like just like this fist, like trying to do it like this, coming together instead
Yes.
of being apart. We were
Right.
doing our companies like this, and now we were like, let's get more people. So now within this is 6 months now since we started our company, we got Master P, Irv Gotti, CC Peniston, Lady
Yay.
Luck, Drummer Boy. So all these are clients on our roster, and then I run the television and film side, so the
Mhm.
content side. So that allowed me to focus on a lot of things on the TV side, and one of the things, like I said, in the last 6 months that we accomplished is getting a 30-minute Revolt special,
Yes.
Black Lives Matter special on Revolt. So in the 6 months that I focused and has been able to put my time on that, The music side has been doing amazing things, and Mac's been, so we kind of work hand in hand and bring the music and film and TV all together, and that's where the agency kind of kicked off. So he's got, man, we got like 13 and 12 employees now. It's amazing. It's crazy, and
Okay.
and we're making content and we're repping artists.
So exciting. That is amazing. So speaking of the Black Lives Matter special, talk a little bit about that. How did that come about? And just tell the people we want to know.
Yeah. So this is why the agency exists. People come to us with ideas, and one of my partners came to me, and he had an award show called the POI Awards, Power Influence Awards, and he was honoring a bunch of mothers, and he was just talking about concepts and ideas, and I was like, and I'm a producer, so I was just like, hold on, I was like, opened up my email, and I just started typing, just
Mhm.
plucking some ideas out, and within a day whipped out a deck, and then within 4 days we had a 4 page deck. We did a
Mhm.
one sheet in a day in my agency, and then we did a 4 page deck, and then we just started circulating it around. I mean, my partner at AGA, Mac Mills, he has connections at Revolt TV,
Okay.
so we gave the deck to Revolt, and they loved it. They loved it. They loved the concept. It changed a few times, but
Okay.
eventually, it started with one artist as a key, but eventually we ended up keying on and featuring Ti, the King of the South. So you can't do much better than that. And he's extremely political. He's about the movement. He's about the culture, and
Mhm.
you know, when we got Ti, we locked him in. Revolt just went out of control, ecstatic. So it was just an honor to kind of be a part of this, and just to give you broad strokes on it, because
Yeah.
we're airing it on October 26th at 9 p.m. on Revolt TV.
Yeah.
So it's a 30-minute special, and it's about Black Lives Matter. So we started in DC at the march. The march on Washington brought everything together. So seeing that historic moment, seeing it, and we brought the mothers and honored them at the award show. So
Yeah.
it was just such let's just say it was such magnificent occasion. And then the march itself was the march. It was 57 years from the "I Have a Dream" speech
Right.
from Martin Luther King. So that just galvanized. Come on, look at where we are. Pandemic, race wars, and George Floyd that just sparked so much, and then Breonna Taylor too.
Right.
So
Mhm.
so because Breonna Taylor was so much in the news, we had no choice but to follow the story of what was going on at that time, and
Mhm.
the $12 million settlement and all of that. We were in Kentucky interviewing Breonna's mother.
Mhm.
So we went then to Kentucky. Then we did the whole Breonna Taylor segment, and then we went back to Atlanta, and that's how we got let's just call them the new warriors. So we know that there's the Reverend Al Sharptons and all of that,
Right.
but we got the we got Ti, we got there's Drummer Boy, who's completely part of this movement and did a song called Burn. I don't know if you heard that. He
Mhm.
produced that song Burn with Ras Kass and I mean Pastor Troy, and it's really about revolution. So him, yeah, him and Zaytoven produced the record. So it's just like it's just dressing the 2020 racial tension right now.
Manipulation.
You know what I'm saying? And the title of it is called Burn. So guess what? Things is burning. And then it just focused on who's talking, like the mothers. The whole real point of it was the mothers.
Yeah.
So the mothers of the movement, we have them. We
Mhm.
we have Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina. We have Eric Garner's mother. We have Miss Opal, who's part of the Juneteenth movement.
Wow.
So yeah, so we've got other figures involved. We
Yeah.
got Oscar Grant's mother. We got Diallo's mother.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's an amazing piece. It's very powerful. I've been looking at it all day. Been looking at some rough cuts, and we got Ti in it. I mean, Ti is amazing. Ti is the king of the South, and he is that voice.
Yeah.
So the people of today, I don't care how old or how young you are, Ti, you're gonna recognize his voice.
Right.
You're gonna understand what he's saying. You're gonna pay attention to it.
Exactly. Let's switch topics, switch gears a little bit. You mentioned that you kind of work on the film side, and then Magnolia works more on the music side, right? So when you're looking at different actors or different talent to work with, what are three things that are hard stop? you would not work with an artist if you see these three characteristics.
So, well, talent in general.
Talent, yeah, talent in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
Talent in
I
general.
mean, I say this. It's. I mean, it's hard to say that you got to work hard or whatever. But if you don't have that work ethic, it's gonna be hard to work with you if you don't. If I'm working harder than you know what I'm saying, and I'm pushing your brand. If I'm gonna get up at 8 and be at, I say this. I want what I would what Master P gives me. Period. And if his work ethic is amazing, um he's always about the dollar. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
making money. Everybody eats.
yeah.
And then I ain't gonna lie. I'll say God and family.
Mm,
And just to hear him talk about positivity and his God, family first, all of that. And then, like I said, he's never late. I mean, I'm at Breakfast Club and he's there before me. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a second, I live in New York and you're beating me. So the times, I was living in New York, he beat me there. So that work ethic is amazing. So
Mm,
if you're 15, like 20 plus years in the game and by half a billion up, and you could be up there on time, then I expect the talent on any level to be there on time.
right.
So the same standards I have for Master P, I expect for the person that's just coming in. And I don't have those standards. P established those standards and allowed
Right.
me to follow them, and then now I'm teaching those standards to everyone around me.
Which is so important. You know what I mean? It's basic, but it's
Yeah.
still critical to your success for sure. So, what are three green lights? Three things that you would say if you see these things, these are definitely things that you want to work with. Obviously, punctuality is one of them.
hmm
What are two others?
I said basically if you're uh I did say something about the money. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Now, I say that to say like it's more about ambition and goals, because I like to work with dreamers, and for one, the bigger the project, the bigger the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So and I really want people to, like, I work with people that just don't, they look at the skies and they don't see a limitation.
Right.
So open your eyes, creativity, getting the dollars,
Mm-hmm.
finding out, that combination. I call it hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So to be a hustler,
There
you
we go.
know, yeah. And then we're hardworking, hustling, but to me that's all the same. You have to work to achieve goals and maximize the business. Cause
Right.
I'm an agency, so my goal isn't just to get you famous, to get you rich too.
Hey,
you know.
the things are very important. They're like
E-
this.
Exactly. So now you get to see. Let's have the same vision, and it's mostly dollar signs now.
Right. Well, what would you say has been the number one key to your business thriving and growing during COVID? Maintaining that dollar sign flow when other businesses have struggled or failed.
So I'm gonna go back to when I said talked about and did the next 48 hours, and we created something at a time. The only way that any company is going to succeed is to fill a need. And right now, our agency, no matter what I say it is, it has to fill a need in order to succeed.
Right.
So in the interesting time of COVID, it has opened up a lot of opportunities. I've done a lot of interviews on StreamYard, but before COVID, I've never heard of StreamYard. I've
Yeah.
never heard of Zoom. You understand?
Right. Right.
So there's a lot of companies taking advantage of COVID now because of the
Mhm.
circumstances. So that's what we had to do. So
Yeah.
our agency, we just launched a campaign called the Blue Check campaign.
Yeah. Mm.
So if you look at it, and it's just brand new. I think it's like 1 2 weeks old. If you look at it in this time now, you can't do the traditional press interviews. The
Mm.
traditional press interviews mean you have to go into the place, get the interview. It's how if you in New York, you try and get in complex, you need to have government ID, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying. It's like getting in these buildings. It's just like getting into what I'm saying, a bank of some sort.
Right.
So because of COVID, you don't have to do that now. It's all
Right.
digital. It's all
Yeah.
links. It's all interviews can be done on this way or either by email.
Right.
So that allows us to take advantage of the situation and then get press for the people to submit them to be verified for a blue check campaign.
Mm.
So if you know the right press and you know the right buttons to press, then we can get you a campaign. So we did an amazing. We did a blue check that's about to go blue check in the next 7 days or less.
Okay.
So that's where we are. But in the process, in the blue check campaign, you have to be pretty much on a big site. You know, these
Mm.
big sites have to. You have to have these links that you submit from major publications.
Mm.
So our blue check campaign includes that. So
Okay.
one of our clients was on Yahoo Finance.
Okay. Nice.
So that's
Mm.
major. He's an artist, a
Yeah.
music artist. So because he's a music artist on Yahoo Finance, he went to Villanova, and Villanova saw him on Yahoo Finance and offered him to be a brand ambassador for the music department at
Wow.
Villanova.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
that just happened within the last 2 weeks. So that's just
Congratulations.
that. Thank you, and that's just a story that came from our blue check campaign. But the
Mm.
whole point is we're taking advantage because we can't be in Yahoo Finance offices,
Right.
but we can set the interviews up digitally and
Yeah.
still allow something to happen. And what did we do? We took advantage of the need, which is people still want blue checks, they still want
Mm.
press, they still want credibility.
Yeah.
How do you do it now during COVID? Well, we just cracked that door, and we gave you a cherry on top, which is this blue check. So we're going to
Yeah.
give you press, and we're going to give you the check. So I think that right there has allowed us to open up a lot of doors and
Mm.
make a lot of moves for our clients.
And so going back to some of your clients that you had mentioned, like the Master P's, the Arab Daddies, these people have been in the game for a long time. So when you look at your clients and some of their careers, what do you think has been the key to their success in staying relevant, in the hip hop game?
Someone like I'd say for P, because I deal with him a lot.
Okay.
He consistently reinvents himself, and
Mhm.
I'm really on the inside with P, so I get to see his products before they even. I'm responsible for getting his products out there,
Mhm.
so it's pretty interesting. He's got Minyati, which is a clothing line and
Mhm.
sneaker line.
Mhm.
He's got the now if you've seen the recent press on him with the uncle the Uncle P's rice, the Uncle P's pancake mix syrup,
Mhm.
getting Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's out of business.
Right, right.
That was his priority. So I get to see, like, come on, he's like, you had AGA goes after brands. We'd like to see. He started as an artist, but he always saw himself as a brand, as a label,
Right.
no limit. So I like to look at artists the same way as brands. So that ultimately is when you look at Master P and you're looking at an artist, you're looking at their brand.
Right.
Sometimes, especially today, you could
Yeah.
be models, actresses, artists, and then I've got some of our artists and musicians in our Revolt piece.
Mhm.
So that's how our us as an agency is still able to help and
Mhm.
work and bring our people into the same circles because one hand washes the other. But in a nutshell, longevity is changing up, staying consistent with the times, and being able to be, able to reinvent yourself.
For sure. Reinvention. That is the key. That is my favorite word. Okay. Over the years, I've definitely had to reinvent myself, come up with different ways of getting my message out there. So I totally understand what you're talking about. For sure. So let's talk about TV and film a little bit. What do you think are the three keys to a hit music video and a hit TV show?
So on the music videos, it's crazy because a lot of these people I used to come up with or hip hop, and now they're vice presidents at like BET.
Yes.
So I just give these guys, I'll give y'all all a gem. The vice president of programming for BET Jams told me this secret, and he
Okay.
was like, if you watch a video, I watch the videos and I turn the audio off.
Hmm.
Now, if I could watch this video and visually it attracts me, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna put that on. Now, if it's just someone, with the lighters or a blunt in there, and they got the dogs and the guns and all that. Obviously, that's nothing creative. You know what I'm saying? So that's never gonna make BET standards. But if you have like there's
Different elements.
the Cole Bennett's out there, and these directors that are killing it. They know what they're doing. You could turn the audio off and see these stuff pop visually, and then it's like, I want that video. So I just use that. I'm very straightforward. I use what the people that I know like, when I tell other people to do it too. So for a television show, I'll give another gem. If you don't already know, there's a racial, social injustice going on. So black content is winning right now in Hollywood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of black filmmakers that, if they're not coming up, they should be. I came up off of Black Lives Matter,
Right.
and obviously I'm black, and I feel a part of being affected with what's going on. But in a nutshell, you said a hit TV show. Urban content, black content, African American content is winning. Women content, African American women content. All
Mhm.
of that's winning. All of that. So right now, a hit show to me, obviously, is being unique. Being the content has to be driven by a fantastic story. You got to have high drama, high stakes, high goals, high consequences. That builds your story. And then, like I said, if you're building it around an African American theme, give it to me. I'll sell it because that, in that nutshell, that content will win today.
For sure. And what about a hit song?
So
What?
a hit song is like, a hit song is almost, how do you want to go about it? Do you want to go about it and put the cookie cutter and put the feature on? Or do you look at the song structure? Great beat, great hook, great. I mean, we could debate the lyrics, but
Really?
overall melodic vibe, and it it depends on the goal of your song. If it's social
Okay.
justice and you want to fight the power, then that song should be able to emote a reaction, a emotional reaction in a state of, I want to fight the man. If it's a party song, you want to shake your booty.
Mhm.
So if it's if the song achieves the goals, and real talk, if you play it and 3 to 6 year old dances to it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just play it to some kids and they dance it. You like that song? Yeah, I like it. All right, that's a hit. 9 times out of
Right.
10, they know it too.
And so, what about a love song? Let's touch on a love song. Hit love song. What are the elements? What?
It's the same elements. I break down any classic love song, or country song.
Country song. Okay.
It's strife, anguish, um, coming back together,
Mhm.
and making love. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's a country song, because that's mostly all the
Right. Right.
country records. But I mean, come on, nowadays these young ladies and men get it popping from the gate. So they
Versus same type of song anymore.
they kind of skip the foreplay and go straight to business.
You know.
But this is what I'm saying. If that's what's winning now, you can't get lost in the times. And a lot of what I seen growing up into this business, I seen women become more and more, let's just say, open with their sexuality.
Right.
Yeah. So guess what? A lot of those that are doing that, starting with Cardi B, they're winning.
Mhm.
Look at Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Mhm.
That sexually charged song,
Wow.
and what's it? I'm sure it's number one, right, for weeks now.
Right.
So what women have now done is use that in their favor. That's why you
Mhm.
see women win. That's why Megan Thee Stallion got the first female, writers award on Billboard, because for a songwriter, because these women are coming out and doing things that they were never, that men were doing. Men were writing those records,
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's a
And now
great
we're
time.
innovating, and it's different. Like you said, it's different times now,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. All right. So what's next for you at AGA Agency? We talked about the blue check movement. So what's coming on next?
So the blue check on the music side is what's next. That's the movement. That's going to be huge. I mean, the reaction from that has sparked us to do. I mean, we're loosely calling it the green check campaign, where where businesses, because like I said, the Yahoo Finance, we were able to not only get artists on like XXL and Billboard and Complex, on the music side, but we can do Forbes, Business Insider, Yahoo Finance, New York Times on the business side. So
Mhm.
now we're looking because businesses have been looking at the blue check campaign and saying how can I do that for my business. So
Right.
we've already are implemented for businesses already,
Okay.
and on that side that's branding and music, and on the film side I'll leak this as a secret. I don't know how
Mm.
much you guys know. I actually I don't know. Well, first and foremost, I have another company with Lady Luck. So me and
Mhm.
Luck, we've been working on content for about a year or so,
Okay.
and she's amazing in her own right. So I think a lot of people know that. But
Mhm.
if you ever seen the documentary series called "Surviving R. Kelly,"
Yes.
with Tamara Simmons created
Sure.
and
Mhm.
executive produced that. So not only am I, Lady Luck, and Tamara in partnership on a project, but last week I'm in partnership with Tamara for a whole nother project.
Okay.
So yeah, so me and Tamara been really doing some things. So hopefully both of them come true. So
And they do. We gonna
yeah.
get in
Come
there.
on, man. Come on. I'm out here. I'm breaking. So thank you, first of all, for allowing me to at least break my first TV show I did on Revolt on your platform, because
Yes.
I'm extremely excited. And obviously, any more opportunities, I'm gonna let you know. But the things that are going on the TV and film side, they're amazing. Like I said, that's just one of the partnerships. Some of the partners not only have blue checks but hundreds of millions of dollars, and
Mhm.
they believe in AGA and they want us to find them projects, and we develop them projects and we
Mhm.
pitch those projects. So it's been a phenomenal ride. 2021 is going to show a lot of things. I want three more shows by the end of this year though.
Yes.
It's only October. Come on.
Exactly. Exactly. We got some months left. We got some days left, some weeks left. We got to get things popping. You know what I mean? Before 2020 is over.
Yep.
Sure. For sure. All right. Well, unfortunately, well, I thank you. We have come to the end of this week's episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast. And I thank you so much for coming on the show, for breaking news about Revolt TV and what's going on with your special for the Black Lives Matter special. It's been an awesome, awesome experience having you on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
For sure. So, what words of motivation would you like to leave our audience with on this week's episode of Black Motivation Broadcast?
I mean, the only thing that I can say is that at one time at 2019, I had put a bunch of goals on my wall, and one of the goals was to have a TV show on the network. And 19 months later, and a lot of perseverance, that dream came true. And down the list, it said one last thing. It said, "Let go and let God." So have faith, believe in what you are. Don't let anybody tell you or fool you or persuade you into doing something that you don't feel comfortable with. Sometimes this road that you go down is rocky, it's mysterious. We're in COVID, we're in race riots, people get lost, they get confused. Sometimes you just got to be focused on your own self, your own goals, or find and get an understanding of self now, and
Yeah.
then find your goals and find your purpose. Maybe you might not find your purpose, but you might find a goal. So then you just take it one step at a time. And through finding my goals, I found my purpose. So I think that's maybe that step is to find this time to find your goals and then find your purpose.
Hey, well, I want to thank you so much for saying those words of wisdom. Now, how can we find you and support you, Steve Raze and AGA Agency on social media and on the web?
Yeah, it's all Steve Raze, Raze, like Z as in zebra. It's everything Steve Raze, and then AGA Agency is AGA Agency at everything, Twitter, Instagram, everything.
And I
So
want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in. For everyone who's watching the replay, this is something that you need to be following. This movement, this man right here, we need to be supporting everything that he does. So check him out, Steve
appreciate you.
Raze and AGA Agency. Thank y'all. It's been an awesome episode of the Black Motivation Podcast. We are out.